It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at the 5 and 10. It's glistening once again with candy canes and silver lanes that glow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Subscribers, welcome back. You're most welcome. Tis the season, and visitors, tis the season. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a wonderful time. So with this recipe, we're going to be making fruit cake, and it's basically made with dried fruits, so assorted dried fruits. So I have cherries, dates, pineapple, cranberries. I think that's about it. You can use all sorts of dry fruits. So here's mine. That's the cherries right there. I'm going to be infusing it with rum. So I'm going to soak it with rum. This is an alcohol-based recipe. You can also make it without alcohol using other methods to infuse or moisten your cake. You can also use caramel or some sort of sweet sauce. But yes, I am going to be adding my fine Jamaican rum to the dried fruits, and I will be storing it for 48 hours. So I started this on a Thursday, and I stored it till Saturday. And yes, everything was just the fruits, absorbed all the well, not all, but just absorb the flavor from the rum. So that's in the refrigerator. And now, 48 hours later, we're ready to make the cake. So here are the ingredients I have. I have mostly, I think everything except for nuts, which you'll be seeing later. So I added pecan nuts later on. So here I'm just showing you the dried fruits. I brought it out like about 30 minutes before this time, so to just get to room temperature. I have orange, lemon, butter. I have eggs there. I also have baking powder right there. I'm showing you baking powder. Allspice, ground allspice. I have ground nutmeg. And I have vanilla extract, brown sugar. So the brown sugar wasn't too brown. I didn't like the fact that it was a little bit lighter, so I added other things to compensate for that. So I just showed you sweetened condensed milk, and then I have molasses. So that's what I'm adding, hopefully to give it a dark color, because my brown sugar is not as brown as I would like, but you see. And then there's the flour, the cake flour. It's basically regular all-purpose flour. Oh, just showing you my nails. 'Tis the season. I have snowflake nails and candy cane design on my nails, in case you're wondering. For those that are wondering what's on her nails, so there you go. All right, and the little snowman. Okay, I digress. All right, let's get right into it. I have my mixer ready to go. And what we're going to do is we're going to sift the flour, put it aside, and also strain our dried fruits. That's the butter. It's now at room temperature. I, brought it out of the refrigerator and let it sit for, some time, so it's easy to mix with the other ingredients. Okay, so here's the flour. Okay, now let's add our nutmeg. We just need a little bit. And then we're going to add the allspice. Allspice, basically I used about 3 times as much as the nutmeg. Allspice gives the cake its spicy, not spicy as in pepperish, but spicy as in, oh, you get what I mean. Flavor. So yes, we're going to give it a good stir. Just stir it around and then leave it while we jump to the other ingredients. That's my butter, and that's the butter I'm using. It has 4 in a pack, so I'm using 3. Now let's go ahead and strain the fruits. Oh my goodness. And as I opened it, oh, the smell that came out, intense, fruity, and the smell of Jamaican rum. I can't even describe it in words. So we're straining it out. The rest, we're just going to keep it in a container in case it can be used for anything else. Otherwise I'll toss it. I'm not a rum drinker, so yes. So we're just giving it a good strain. Well, I'm going to let it sit there. So that's the leftover. I put in a container. We'll just use it later on as part of the glaze on the cake, and then the rest will be tossed. Okay, so here's the butter. We're adding our brown sugar. And the brown sugar, I'm using half as much as I would have used because I'm going to be adding the sweet condensed milk and the molasses. So that should compensate for the half of the amount of brown sugar that I used. So that's the condensed milk I'm adding, and it's optional. You can just add the brown sugar alone. So giving that a good stir, adding my eggs. Now I'm adding the vanilla extract. I'm going in with the molasses. And we're going to mix everything together. Now, meanwhile, the orange and lemon you saw earlier, so I'm going to get the zest from that. I'll be using it in the cake mix, and also I'll be using half an orange juice. So half of the orange, I'll just squeeze the juice into the cake batter. Okay, so that's the orange and lemon zest I just showed you, and I'm squeezing half an orange into the batter, and then I'm going to add my dry ingredients. So after adding the dried fruits or the infused fruits, I'm adding my flour. And then I'm going to add the zest. Okay, so this is a non-stick baking pan, but just to make sure my cake comes out, nice and smooth without sticking to the bottom whatsoever, I'm just going to, line the bottom with butter, and then add flour, a little bit of flour just to dust it. It helps. It really helps. So In addition to that, I'm going to be adding parchment paper to the bottom of the pan. And parchment paper, I just cut out a circle, and there you go. So I'm adding our cake mix. Fruit cake is can be a bit dense depending on, how you want it. The fruit cake in grocery stores, oh my goodness, it's like a brick. It's like a compressed brick with fruits, nuts. I don't like too much nuts in mine, so that's why I just put nuts on top, which you see coming up. If you notice, I did not add the nuts to the batter, although that's what most fruit cakes have. They have nuts in them as opposed to just on the surface. So we're just putting some cherries on top. There we go. Those are the bits of pecan nuts. We're going to just add it on top. Okay, and we're baking at 265 for I'll say 40 minutes. So while that is baking, 35 to 40 minutes. While that is baking, I'm going to make a glaze, and I'm using orange, sweet orange marmalade. So it's like jelly, orange jelly or marmalade. And then we're going to add a little bit of our rum juice or rum liquid, and give it a stir. And then I'll heat it up just ever so slightly in the microwave, just for a few seconds. And there you go, we have our glaze. So the cake is ready. So what I'm going to do is just to glaze it and then take it out. Oh, look at it, it smells so good, and it looks so pretty. All right, glazing it. The smell is intense. I mean, it smells so fruity. It smells like cake, like as if I walked into a bakery shop. So it smells really good, actually. So give it a good baste. The cake is still hot, so I won't keep it too long so that the glaze doesn't harden. So I need to take out the cake as soon as possible. All right, and it's ready. Look at that, guys. That is beautiful, shiny, and it smells so good. So here I'm going to take it out. I let it cool down a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm using a paper towel, turn it over. See how easy it was to just flip it over. I have the parchment paper, flip that back over, and there you have it. Okay, now we're going to cut a piece. Oh, it smells so good. Smells good. See, nice and rich. Fruit cake is a very rich cake, so you don't eat too much, just a little bit. Typically one whole cake is good enough for a whole family and guests, because everybody gets just a little bit at a time. It's because it's very rich. It's a very rich cake. All right, so there it is. Isn't that beautiful? So let's have just a taste. Okay, it's nice and it's spongy. Look at the color. And the flavor is out of this world. So tasty, not too sweet. All right, everyone, I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Give me a thumbs up, and I hope you and your loved ones have a wonderful Christmas season. Merry Christmas.